Professor and Wang Yuwei, and I studied PhD finance. My advisor is Dr. Namithya. The topic is the impact of Chinese and American monetary policies on commodities prices under the COVID-19 pandemic, and I will present it from 7 parts. The first part is introduction. The introduction will introduce the topic from 5 parts. The third part is why I choose this topic under the COVID-19 and why I choose 2 countries, America and China, and why I want to have a research on the monetary policy and black commodities prices. Why COVID-19? COVID-19 has impacted the global economy, affecting industry, production activities, and economic development. And the black commodities prices under the COVID-19, the overall supply and demand chain of commodities are disturbed, and the price fluctuation frequency of all commodities in the international market is becoming more frequent, and the fluctuation rate is increasing. And the monetary policies as an important tool for market control, it has more prominent position in building market control all over the world. And why I choose American and what's named as the policy and the settlement currency of the international trade. The US dollar is mostly used for international monetary transaction, and changing the US monetary policy will directly change the monetary prices marked by the US dollar. And this is the data of American GDP and China. And China is the world's second largest economy, and its gross GDP is its economy growth rate ranks among the top among the world's major economy. And under the COVID-19, countries have taken serious measures to adjust the economy and promote economic development. The study of the impact of Chinese and American monetary policy of the commodity prices is of great significance to properly deal with price fluctuation, stabilize price, and macroeconomic expectation. And next is problem statement. According to the basic principle of economics, the determinant of a price are supply and demand, which will be affected by monetary policy. The development and maturity of quantitative future market promotes financialization of quantities, and the impact of monetary policy on quantities prices has attracted more and more attention. And from Franco 2006 summarized the that monetary policy affects quantity prices. First, investment weight, and second, supply approach, and third, financial approach. At present, there are 2 kinds of studies on monetary policy affecting commodity prices. One is studying whether for quantitative monetary policy of the US has caused the raising of quantity prices. And second, with the rise of China's economy, the research on impact of Chinese factors on commodity prices has become more important. But the research on this area, there is few literature to study the impact of combination of US and China's monetary policy on quantity prices in the context of COVID-19. And as for practical that, these people will take monetary policy of China and the US, those top 2 economies, as a research object, and analyze the impact of monetary policy of China and the US on quantity prices under the influence of the COVID-19, and make a calculation analysis with impact before the COVID-19, so as to make better decision and guide economic life under the pandemic. And next is the literature review. There are many studies analyze the impact of COVID-19 to the quantity prices. In 2020, for oil price reached the lowest price and fell below the different monetary policy affect quantity price factors through different channels. And there are many literatures on topics. There are many studies analysis the impact of monetary policy to the quantity prices in different countries. For example, Italy, Turkey, China, US, Malaysia, and so on. Many scholars find that the range of change varies from market to market in terms of COVID-19. And this is how the literature. Next is objective and research actions. Objective 1 to analyze and conduct the impact of monetary policy on black commodities by analyzing the quantitative attributes and financial attributes of black commodities and clarifying the role of financial factors in the fluctuation of black commodity prices. And question 1 is how to analyze and conduct the impact. Objective 2 is to empirically analyze the impact of Chinese and American interest rate on quantitative price by interest rates and exteriors variables. And question 3 is what's the impact of China's and American interest rates on quantitative prices. Objective 3 to empirically analyze the impact of Chinese and American money supply on black commodity prices by taking money supply as an exteriors variable of the entire economic system. And question 3 was the impact of this objective. Objective was the impact of monetary supply and quantitative prices. Objective 4, which are the difference between the impact of China's and U.S. monetary policy on quantitative prices between and after the outbreak respectively, and what are strategies for the quantitative storage strategies. And question 4 was the difference between the impact of China and U.S. monetary policy on quantitative prices before and after the outbreak, and what's the strategies. That's the significance of the research. From the theoretical side, the empirical analysis of the impact of monetary policy on quantitative prices in China and the U.S. can enable us to identify whether quantitative prices are the factor that determines the price and analyze the main reason for the impact of quantitative prices. And from the practical side, for enterprises, it's help enterprises to operate and make decisions, and for policymakers, it's helpful for adjustment and implementation of major business strategies, and for the stable operation and long-term development of the economy. And that's the theoretical framework. This paper wants to use quantitative future prices theory and serial monetary policy transmission mechanism and some specific theory and its description. And there's a way of monetary policy affecting quantitative prices. Monetary policy contains two instruments, quantitative tools and price tools, and each will influence by quantitative prices. And the relationship between the quantitative tools and price tools through development of the economy and the quantitative prices through development of the economy. And research design. The first step is verifying the leading relationship of individuals level according to the vector every autoregressive model. Second step is the stability test, and the third is called integration test. Fourth is correlation and regression analysis. And five is the impulse response function to analyze the impact of Chinese and American monetary policy on quantitative prices. Population sample and sampling method. This paper mainly uses to 192 months sample of monthly data from May 2008 to April 2022 for empirical analysis, which are secondary data. Data collection, they will use secondary data, and it will collect gradual user fund interest rate, the monthly average shipping period, and so on. And all of this data will drive from one database. Next is definition of variables. I want to use for independent variables. The Federal Reserve Fund interest rate and the monthly average shipping interest rates, the American and Chinese money supply, and I want to use for control variables US and China's growth in industrial output and US and China's COVID-19 positive numbers. And for dependent variables, CRB index will represent the overall commodity prices. The international gold index will represent metal prices. International core index will represent agricultural product prices. International crude oil index will represent energy and chemical industry prices. And this paper will use quantitative data analysis. The data will be analyzed by data fitting method as below. The first method is the vector autoregression model, and the second I will use augmented decay for the test for stability test. Third, I will use underground test for code integration test. Fourth, I will use granger consolidation test. And last is impulse response functions. That's all. And that's it. Thank you.